So the big game is tomorrow night against the Patriots and the Chiefs. I think that's the biggest game this week, according to all these analysts. So we're gonna do a little bit of around the league. Haven't made a video in a couple days, and that big game's tomorrow night, Sunday night, prime time. So I figured, why not? Let's just do some around the league. So I'm gonna start with everybody else first, and then we'll transition into my team. Injury report for around the league. Raiders wide receiver Martavius Bryant is questionable with an illness. The Browns signed the former first-round pick wideout Perryman. This guy used to play for Baltimore. He's actually pretty fast. They said he was a good comparison to Tyreek Hill. He wasn't quite as fast, but he's fast. Tannehill is questionable with a right shoulder injury versus the Bears. Jacksonville actually signed Jamal Charles and Charcandrick West, two former Kansas City running backs. They're kind of in a hole at running back with just TJ Yeldon. Devontae Freeman, foot and groin. He's ruled out versus the Bucks. Coach Rivera is optimistic that tight end Greg Olsen will play. He fractured his foot. I highly doubt he plays Sunday. If he does, he's going to be half-ass effort. How could you? You got a broken foot. The Jets, Isaiah Crowell, he's questionable for Sunday. He's got an ankle injury. Ndamukong Suh said that the Rams' run defense is terrible. What a surprise. Thanks, dude. You're beating a dead horse. We already knew that. A lot different when you're not playing the Cardinals, huh? Moving on. I don't know what the Patriots' injuries are. Kansas City's injuries. DeAnthony Thomas refractured his right or left leg, whichever one it was that he fractured last year. He refractured it again in practice a couple days ago. As I said before, Armani Watts, damn good football player. I guess he had some kind of groin injury that was more serious than what they thought. He got put on IR. Dirty Dan, still nothing about him coming back. He's supposed to be back week 6, week 7. So I take it he's not going to be back. Eric Berry, obviously not back yet with the giant bone spur he's got. So now we got this Lucas guy who's stepping up. I don't know much about him, but he got a pick last week. He may have had 2. But Lucas is going to get the start at safety. Marcus Kemp, who is our wide receiver, he played safety in high school. Hasn't since then. He tried out for safety in case we need him as an emergency safety. So we're hurting at safety right now. We also got Josh Shaw, who could play safety or corner. They're still trying to get him into the mix of the defensive rhythm. He's new to the team. Got some experience, pretty big guy. Given a corner, 6'1", he's pretty decent size for a corner. Of course, Tardif, he got put on IR because I believe he fractured his fibula. I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I believe happened. Other than that, we got a few injuries, but Tardif's the one that's going to hurt, but then again, it gives this rookie time to play. Wiley is a rookie, and he will be stepping in his spot. So the offensive line probably will not, well, actually, it will not be the same as last week. It will be a little bit different. There will probably be some holes in there. Wiley's going to he's going to have his hands full. I mean, this is a tough game for Wiley to step up in against the Patriots at home, who, by the way, are 23-0. Brady is 23-0 against quarterbacks who are under the age of 25 at Foxborough. Now, I just heard it's at Foxborough. That may be all time, but I'm not necessarily going to say all time because I know Russell Wilson beat him one time in Foxborough, but I don't remember how old he was. I think that was a couple of years ago, which means he wouldn't have been that old. But apparently he wasn't under the age of 25. So 23-0, it's another streak. Mahomes has broken a lot of streaks so far this year. However, this one's a whole different animal. Some people were saying that maybe we should go back and sign Marcus Cooper. No. Marcus Cooper didn't fit in the defense very well. He was with the Chiefs for a few years. He was our lowest corner. He got beat a lot. And quite frankly, I don't think we're really hurting at corner. I think we're hurting at, at safety. Now, we did sign a former Browns second-round pick at linebacker, and I can't remember his name. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know his stats, don't know how decent he is. All I know is Kansas City picked him up. And they also re-signed Frank Zombo, who was with our squad for quite a long time. He was kind of like Ron Parker. He wanted a bigger contract. He left Kansas City when his contract ended this year. And he couldn't find a home for the money that he was wanting, so he took a pay cut to come back to Kansas City. Frank Zombo is a very honorable guy. I think he played pretty decent at Kansas City as linebacker. He was kind of like Ron Parker. He played pretty decent. It's just sometimes you just can't pay him that kind of money. The analysts are at it again. It's like this every week for Kansas City, which I don't really blame them for doubting Kansas City or being skeptical. This is his first year starting. He got off to a hot start. We get it. But it's a different thing every week. Week one, it was we picked the Chargers to win the Super Bowl. Oh, Kansas City skunked out the Chargers. Well, we'll see what happens when they get put against a tough opponent. Jimmy Garoppolo, he never lost, or he played the Vikings really close. It ought to be a good game. And then we blew San Francisco out. And they scored points in the second half, but we still won. Blew them out in the first half. And then it was, Jimmy G was lost in the second half. It could have been a comeback and yada, yada, yada. And then we moved on to our first home game. Or no. We played Pittsburgh. Sorry, let me backtrack. The second week it was, they beat the Chargers last week, but they always do that. So the Steelers, they can't get past the Steelers. It's a 32-year-old curse. It'll never happen. Mahomes beats them. Then they give us the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing. Then we beat him, and then, if he wouldn't have got hurt, making excuses for it. And then we go on the road and play Denver, who was the tough opponent, the tough divisional opponent in a hostile environment that supposedly he would never get past. And Denver's never allowed this, and this. And he goes to Denver, breaks all those streaks, doesn't really have a great game, still wins. And he comes from behind in a hostile environment in a divisional game when the game was close. They're playing Jacksonville, best defense in the league. They'll definitely hit a brick wall this week. Blew them out. Defense played great. Blew them out. Pat Mahomes had the worst start of his career, and he still scored 23 points with an offense. So now this week it's another streak. Jacksonville they're bad playing on the road, and they're this and they're that. And that ain't what they were saying a week ago, but it's just like everybody else. So now they're giving us the whole Brady shebang, 23-0 record against quarterbacks under 25. Yada, yada. Look, man, this is going to be a good game either way. As I said before, if this is our first loss of the season, I ain't going to be disappointed. The Patriots are playing hot right now. It's in Foxborough, hostile environment. I think this is really going to define who Patrick Mahomes is, though. If he goes to Foxborough and gets blown out, we got a problem. We got a problem with Kansas City. Even being at 5-1, if they go to Foxborough and get blown out by the Patriots, we're going to have a problem. If they go there and play them tough and they win, it's going to say a lot. If we go there and we play them tough and we lose, it's still going to make a difference, Mahomes lost to a veteran quarterback, arguably the best of all time, but he played him close. I mean, that's a big difference between getting blown out. If you get blown out, but we've never seen Mahomes play Brady. And you know, they also threw out the shebang of Alex Smith. He had almost the same stats as Mahomes last year, 5-0, but he had a better completion percentage, and he didn't turn the ball over twice. Yeah, but Pat's got 3 more touchdowns, man. Pat's put 21 more points on the board than he had last season at this time. So comparing him to Alex Smith, you know, especially after you just got done saying, well, the Giants should have got rid of Eli like Kansas City got rid of Alex Smith. They knew it was time to cut the cause even though he was playing great. You contradict yourself. Going to be a great game either way. It's prime time. And for any of you guys that are wondering, the Cincinnati-Kansas City game got moved to Sunday night next week. They figured it would get better ratings than the Rams killing the 49ers. So they moved the Rams and the 49ers out, and they put Kansas City and Cincinnati, another powerhouse AFC team. We got a hard next 3 games. We got the Patriots, we got the Bengals, and then we got Denver again. Now, Denver, the past 3 meetings, we've blown them out at home. So I'm less worried about Denver than I am everybody else, to be honest with you. Denver always plays us close at home, and then we blow them out when they come back to Arrowhead. So I'm not too concerned about that game, but right now I'm focused on the Patriots. It is going to be an offensive shootout, nonetheless. Look, I know a lot of bandwagon Patriot fans, and I know a lot of very honorable Patriot fans that were Patriot fans before Tom Brady. You know, that suffered before they had anything at all. They were kind of like Kansas City. They had nothing until Brady and Belichick came along, and then it just bloomed. I mean, they're definitely the powerhouse dynasty in the NFL, probably in the past 20 years now. Damn near 20 years. 2020, it'll be about 20 years of them doing this. So, you know, for those Patriot fans that are true and are loyal, I respect that. And they're, you know, as much shit as we talk on each other, they got respect for Mahomes, and they think it's going to be a great game too. But, you know, this is where Mahomes can really prove that he's the real deal. And I think he can play him close and lose and still prove he's the real deal. You know, the Patriots are not a pushover football team. I get it. They lost to the Lions. You know, I can't remember who their other loss was to. You know, I don't follow them that close. But I get it. Detroit beat them. You know, they always do this. They always start off slow at the beginning of the season, and then they win the rest of their games. I mean, they take off like a freight train. And when they played Miami at 1-2, I told everybody that picked Miami has not scored over 19 points against New England, and I think it's the past, in the past 6 or 7 years, something like that. Every time Miami has played in Foxborough, they have got beat by 19 or more points. And what happened? New England beat the brakes off of Miami, 38-7. They blew them out, and Miami was undefeated. And I tried to tell people that. I get it, stats aren't everything, but the Patriots, especially losing 2 in a row like that, they get pissed. They're not the team that loses. Although I do think this is a great experience for Mahomes, and he even said it himself in a press conference that win or lose, it's going to be a great experience for him. The Patriots are playing hot right now. They found themselves. They figured themselves out. They don't have injuries. They're on the top of their game, and this is when I want Mahomes to play him, because this is going to dictate how Mahomes reacts to, I'm just going to say it, the best team in the AFC for the past 18 years. And except for that 1 year that Brady was hurt and they still went to the playoffs. This is the best team in the AFC in the past 20 years by far, and they are playing their best football right now. So this is going to be a huge game for Mahomes. This is how I want it. This is how I want it. This is exactly how I wanted it. I wanted New England to be at the top of their game, no injuries, in perfect condition, playing at home against Kansas City. That's what I wanted to see. Because now we're going to see how Patrick Mahomes truly reacts against the best of the best. I don't care if the record is 3-2. I don't care if Washington is 2-2. I don't care if Carolina is 3-1. I don't care if the Bears are 3-1 and the Dolphins are 3-2. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care if the Bengals are 4-1. This team is the best of the best. And they're playing at home. And if they can do something with that, it's going to say something. If they lose to that in a close game, it's still going to say something. Or at least it will for Kansas City fans. For New England fans, they're going to say, ha, I got you. We ended your streak. That's all right. That's all right. Usually, I hate losses, and I even hate losing to the Patriots. The Patriots are the one team I just don't want to lose to. Them and the Raiders. But at the end of the day, I know who they are, and so does the rest of this fan base, and so does the rest of the NFL. Everybody knows who this team is. That's the reason they got picked by 3 points by Vegas. Because they are who they are. And that's okay. And if Kansas City wins this game, I'll be ecstatic. That's freaking phenomenal, man. 6-0 and you beat the best of the best when they're playing the best. No injuries. That's awesome. Send them down to 3-3. The only other competition in the AFC would be Cincinnati. I mean, as goes for right now, as of, possibly making the playoffs and being ranked, that'd put us number 1 in the AFC for sure. So it's already a longer video than what I said it was going to be, so I'm going to end it right here. I'll see you after tomorrow night's game.